Hello. Today I am going to talk about this book. I finished it quite a while ago, but I only have time to do the video today. It is called Crossing to Safety, and this one is written by Wallace Stegner. And I actually gave this book a 5-star rating, and I'm gonna talk about that why in this video. Basically, I just really love this book. So, Crossing to Safety is about the relationship of four characters. The relationship is more like friendship. The four characters are there are two pairs of married couples. The first one is Larry and Sally Morgan, and the other couple is Sid and Charity Lang. The story actually starts with Larry and Sally Morgan when they're at their older age. They went to visit Charity, who was dying of cancer at her home. And it was there that we got into this flashback narration told from the perspective of Larry, who just kind of like walked through the readers on how they met this other couple, Sid and Charity Lang. So the story actually kind of like started with Larry and Sally arriving in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. Larry just got a teaching job at university. He got a job teaching English, and at that time, the couple was actually quite poor. They didn't have like a lot of money. They just got a place to stay in, but it was quite humble. And at the same time, Sally was also pregnant, and so financially things were not really like great for them. But you could kind of tell from the narration that they were kind of chill about all that. They were okay. Their relationship was okay as well. There was nothing like really dramatic happening at the time, and it was there that they met this couple. They actually met Charity first, who went to visit Sally, and it was later revealed that Charity was also pregnant at the same time as Sally, and they were kind of like then they kind of became fast friends. And afterwards, Charity just invited them to have dinner at her home, and it's there that they really became friends with Sid as well, with Charity's husband. And so that's how the four-person became friends with each other, and I guess that's it. No, the story actually didn't end like that. There are more things that happen, but things that happen at the back literally just these four people hanging out with each other, where like there were chapters on they going to camping, and there's a chapter on their going to Italy. So yeah, it's literally like this whole book is literally about them hanging out with each other. But I know that even though that sounds like really reductive, I'm pretty sure that sounds really reductive, because this book is, while it is describing them hanging out and doing stuff with each other, it actually goes more than that. The story really goes into the details of the relationships and the personalities of these four different characters. Specifically, we see the personalities of course, the narrator, Larry Morgan, and we also see the details in the personalities of Sid Lang and Charity Lang. Basically, all these people are like really different. We also get glimpses of Sally Morgan in this book, but she's more of a silent character, I would say. And yeah, all of these people are like really different in terms of personality. But what makes this book really great and what makes this story really great is that it really tells you like even though the people have so many different kinds of personalities, they could still manage to like make their friendship work, which is kind of mushy if you ask me. Like the story's idea at its core, it does feel kind of cheesy to me, but the way it is being written, the way the characters are being treated, the way that relationships are being treated, it it feels really poetic. Like you really get to see like a realistic depiction of people's relationship with each other, especially friendship. It doesn't like just describe friendship as something that is really wonderful and really great and sweet all the way. And when it introduces conflicts, which is definitely inside this book, there is definitely conflict in this book. It introduces it in such a way that is really natural, and it relates back to the differences in personalities of each of these characters. Like, for example, in this book, because we see this book from the point of view of Larry Morgan, all of the personalities are going through the filters of Morgan's point of view. So he focuses a lot on Sid and Charity because those are like the other couple, and so he kind of like looks at them and he kind of becomes more critical about these two people. He's critical, but he's also like kind of cool with them because they're besties. So they're friends. Basically, in this book, Sid is characterized as someone who is more gentle, sensitive, probably feels a little bit doormat, like a doormat. At least that's how I think Larry would describe it. He's more of the quiet type kind of a person, and on the other hand, we have Charity, who is more of a domineering character. She's like really she's loud. She's very opinionated, and she's very confident. Like, she just say what she wants to say. She's just loud, and these people, even though they are a married couple, they each have like really distinct personalities, and sometimes they clash. And we get to see that kind of conflict in this book, but it doesn't escalate to the level of like over the top drama kind of conflict. So if you are the kind of reader who goes into a book and wants to read about drama that is like really dramatic, really over the top, really exaggerated, then I think this book would not work for you, because the kind of conflict that is served in this book is more of a subdued kind of conflict, like really slow, but it feels really natural. Like, this is the kind of conflict that I believe all of us would see in our daily lives. Like for example, I'm more of a quiet type of a person, then perhaps I would have a conflict with someone who is very loud and very slightly leans towards pushy or something like that, and it doesn't lead to us like getting like become murderers with each other. So this book really serves that very realistically, and I really appreciate that. I love it so much, the way it is being described, and at the same time it's being described in like really beautiful words, like really poetic. When it comes to treatment of relationship, especially friendship, I think this book is really lovely. That's why I really love it. So in general, this book, I would say, does not really have like a really obvious plot. If you are the kind of reader who wants to read a book for its plot, then again, I think this book is not going to work as well, because it's not really plot driven. In fact, it's like really like heavily character driven. If you're the kind of person who likes character driven stories, then this book is awesome. So I would definitely recommend this book. One could say that if one is a more of a plot driven reader, that this book is probably one of those books that you would characterize as a book in which nothing happens. Not much is happening, but because I really like character driven stuff, this book really works for me, and that is why I really love it. So another thing that really determines why I would like a book is the book's tone. Usually I like books that have really neutral, really non-judgmental tone. This book is actually told from the point of view of Larry Morgan, so it's not third person omniscient. It's like it's told from a first person point of view. I would say that overall this book, it does feel a little bit biased due to the fact that it's being narrated by Larry Morgan. So a lot of the judgment that we read in this book comes, or at least partially influenced by Larry. And so yeah, there is a bit of judgment, but it's not a lot. And at the same time, because Larry is like friends with all of these people, we still see like good comments on these people. We still see good judgment on these people. So it's not something that would totally color my perception on all of these characters. It does affect it a little bit, but I can still have that freedom to kind of judge whether I would like this character or not. And yeah, in general, I actually kind of like all of these characters, even though each of them kind of have like some insufferable traits that would probably make you dislike them, except for Sally, because she's kind of like really quiet. We don't really see a lot of her. Like Sid just feels like a doormat. Charity just feels so dominating. And Larry, to be honest, I don't know, maybe it's because he's the narrator, but most of the time, well, not most of the time, but well, some of the time, I just feel like he's a bit of a drama queen in this book. So yeah, there's that. But I still kind of like all of these characters. There are no characters that I would consider as really unlikable. Another point that I would want to say is that because this story, especially the flashback part, is actually being told from the perspective of Larry, who is much older. I think he's in his 60s or 70s, I think. The flashback bits actually feel really nostalgic, and you could kind of feel that it is being viewed through like rose tinted lenses, because everything just felt really chill, really rosy, really nice. But in general, you still feel that really cheery vibe going on in the flashback scene. So I think that really influences how I see this book as well, because when I read this book, I just felt really good. I just felt like really happy, because that's how the narrative was presented to me. It was presented as something that has happened long time ago from someone who has experienced all of this, and that person just narrated the whole story to me with like this good mood, and in turns it made me feel good as well. I guess that's kind of like another reason why I like this book, especially since I do have the tendency to kind of feel jittery when I read a book. This book really calmed me down, so I really appreciate that effect. So in short, if you are the person who really likes character-driven story, if you are the person who doesn't mind like very little plot, and you like stories that explore relationship, especially friendship, I would seriously recommend this book for you. So that's it today in this video for Crossing to Safety. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. So yeah, I'll see you again next time, and until then, take care and bye bye.